Alright, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Brie coming to you. We're going to talk about the Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella match. And this match has so many layers of so many things that is going down. I was ready to see this match, and then Monday happened, and now there's just so much in this storyline. I mean, this is probably one of the most complex storylines that WWE has ran in a real long time. I know that when it happened, everybody wanted to throw rocks at it. Even Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels were basically wiping their hands clean of this one, saying, we got nothing to do with WWE's creation of Claire Lynch, with Stephanie McMahon bringing down the physical therapist of Daniel Bryan, and saying that, you know, basically Brie Bella was a dead fish in the sack, and that Daniel Bryan is now sleeping with his physical therapist, which led the physical therapist to break up with her boyfriend and leaving her in this sort of distraught state of basically not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, not knowing if basically Daniel Bryan was in love with her or, you know, where they are from there. Basically, I honestly thought when Brie Bella hit the ring, I thought that Brie Bella thought that basically none of this was true. I thought that she saw through 100% of what they were doing, and then from listening to a few different wrestling podcasts and wrestling reviews, the way they seem to look at it is that when she hit the ring, I forgot what the girl's name was, but she knew who she was, so she knew it wasn't an actress. She knew that Stephanie wasn't trying to get over a storyline on television that was just 100% phony and fake. That basically they thought Brie Bella really believed you know, what was going down in the ring. And then when I did my Raw review as the show was going on, basically, I thought the slap to the girl was perfectly timed and perfectly placed, and then Stephanie McMahon saying that basically we were going to finish this later. I thought that they were going to have a brawl later on in the show. I thought that Stephanie was going to go in the back, she was going to change into some brawling attire, and they were going to find a way to fight it out on Raw last night. And then basically Brie came down to the ring, and I thought, well, alright, it looks like they're actually going to have a pre-match before their match. Maybe Stephanie wants to get in the ring and actually, you know, wrestle around a little bit before the match, and she can see, you know, where she's at before Sunday and see what she needs to work up on. And then Stephanie came out, and she was wearing her, you know, her normal, you know, Stephanie McMahon attire, and I was like, well, you know, bring out the divas, because I guess, you know, basically she's just going to make a match where it's Brie versus 16 of the divas in the back, and it's just going to be, you know, a gauntlet-style whoop-ass on Brie, so that way she's going to be left in this weakened state before the match. And what do you know? They bring up the fact that she slapped the physical therapist, and I was just, it took me back. I was like, wow. They're smarter than I thought they were. That was perfect, the fact that I don't think that many people saw that coming. I think that when it went down, I think everybody saw the slap and just sort of saw past it. I don't know if everybody thought they were going to have a fight that night. But basically, I don't know. I mean, I just was like, wow. That was good. A+ WWE. They really got us on this one. So, you know, Brie Bella in storyline, she had to go to jail. Brie Bella in storyline got released from jail, and more than likely, I think Stephanie McMahon with this, you know, just sort of is poking the bear, as Jim and I would say. You know, just basically, I think Brie went from fired up for a fight to just double fired up. I mean, like, this is gonna be an ass whooping when it comes to SummerSlam. Now, you know, there's been pictures that I don't know if Nikki Bella, you know, put them up on Instagram or on Twitter herself. I've had people send them to me asking me what I think about this, and then I went to her Twitter, I went to her Instagram, and I couldn't find them. I don't know if maybe she's, you know, was smart to the business, and she basically, you know, uploaded them where people would see them. People would know that this was something, and then maybe she took them down, so they wouldn't be able to be found, and then they'd be sort of like a mystery floating around the internet people would be talking about. But there's a picture of her, you know, getting ready for her match, wearing yellow wrestling gear, and she's wearing yellow, you know, wristbands, and she's wearing a Seth Rollins shirt. And that's like, hey, he's a bad guy. What are you doing? There's already talks about Nikki Bella turning on her sister Brie, leading to a feud between them two. and then we would get Bellas versus Bellas, and Stephanie would be involved. Just Nikki would be a part of the Authority. Then I guess, I don't know if they're going to go as far to link Seth Rollins and Nikki Bella together. I know that there's been talks of John Cena wrestling against Seth Rollins after SummerSlam in some sort of a feud. That, to me, honestly, you'd have to put that off until after Night of Champions. There's been lots of talk of that Brock Lesnar is booked for SummerSlam, and he's also booked for Night of Champions. Let's just scrap the fact that you know, it's already pretty much set in stone. I think everybody in the world believes that Brock Lesnar is going to beat John Cena. And if Brock Lesnar is going to be on Night of Champions, and why would you not do Cena versus Brock as a rematch at that show? You know, get it to, I don't know if they want to save that as maybe a WrestleMania match, but then if Brock is going to be at Night of Champions, and he's not going to wrestle John Cena, who would he wrestle? I mean, if you're going to save Cena for WrestleMania as sort of like a backup, you know, in case, you know, Rock doesn't work out, or maybe Roman Reigns doesn't work out, and then you have Cena versus Brock 3, which would be Cena versus Brock 4 in the untalked about Backlash match from 2003. You know, it's just, when do you work into the Seth Rollins thing? You know, why was this picture taken? Why is it out there? Is she just playing us as marks, knowing that we're going to be talking about her when she's not even really in the match? I know that, you know, on SmackDown there's going to be a graphic saying that Triple H and Nikki Bella are going to be ringside in the opposing corners, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to see this Bella turn. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It just turns Total Divas into. I love Total Divas. I do a review for every show, and you know, I love every second of what's going on that show, even when it's hokey pokey, you know, fake. But to me, I know that they love drama on the E! Entertainment Network, and the Total Bellas, the Total Divas are going to have it. You've already got an established feud of Nikki versus, you already have an established feud of Natalya and Summer Rae. You're going to have the Funkadactyls going at it. Now this year you're going to have the Bellas versus each other going on, which is going to break up their, you know, sort of relationships that are on there. You already started a feud between Brie and Daniel. I don't know if this storyline is to build up something which is going on the show. I wouldn't be surprised if they have an episode on there, which would be very stupid. This soon after they're going to show their wedding, they're already going to be having, is Brie thinking that Daniel really is cheating on her in real life? Then if they do the link up of Seth Rollins and Nikki Bella, you know, then where does that leave Nikki and John Cena? I think that when this show came out, I think that the most people that wanted to see the show wanted to see what was going on backstage at wrestling events. When they, you know, they really pumped up the first few episodes of this show, it was always, well, what was going on at SummerSlam? What was going on at Monday Night Raw? What was going on at WrestleMania 29? It wasn't until later in the show they started doing episodes that were just completely away from the arenas, and it was just about them going and doing something on their day off and showing what their normal day is like. Very, very limited to what was going on inside of the wrestling ring, and lots of what was going on at their house. So, you know, if they're going to take away the Bella's relationships with Daniel Bryan and John Cena, I think they're going to lose a lot of their interest. But then again, they thought that they had 6 million wrestling fans that were going to buy the WWE Network on day one. They thought by giving away WrestleMania, they would get 1 million people that were going to buy the WWE Network, because 1 million people bought, you know, WrestleMania 29, and that didn't work out. So maybe they think that by taking off the wrestling aspect of that show, maybe the people will continue to watch because they're drawn into the drama that's already built there. Honestly, in my mind, if you take away me seeing what's going on with Daniel Bryan and John Cena, I'm a little bit less interested in what's going on with that show. That's just my mind of what's going down. But I thought there was no way in hell this was going to happen. But now that I've seen this picture, I think that it's 100% guaranteed that we're going to see the Bellas turn on each other. I think that Nikki is going to turn. I think Stephanie's going to get into the mind of Nikki, saying that Brie was trying to basically, you know, squash Nikki down. She was trying to steal the spotlight. Nikki was the one that was still wrestling while Brie, quit and went home. And why she was not even on the roster, she kept showing up on shows, making sure she was going to be on TV, stealing the limelight by slapping Stephanie while Nikki was out there doing the hard work. Nikki was posting the photos on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram saying that, she missed her sister, and she wished her sister was around, and the Bellas, aren't anything unless they're together. Well, she was just basically, being at home, being with her husband, and just taking care of herself. And she just left her tag team partner out there to be high and dry. Much like, when the Funkadactyls have feuded a few times on this show, they've come together and say that, they're better together than they are apart. Like the one episode 7, where they, episode 4, where they split and they tell Stephanie, they say, hey, we don't want to be tag team partners anymore, we want to try this solo. They go out there, they have singles matches, they're the shits, and they say, hey, you know what? We need to come back together. We need to tell Stephanie that this is the team, because we can't do shit without each other. So, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys see a split coming? Am I just looking too much into this? Am I getting worked by the Bella twins? But, fun times ahead. SummerSlam, honestly, you can say what you want, but I can normally tell what's going down by looking at what videos are most popular with the pay-per-view that's coming up, and I'm getting a lot of hits on the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar matches, but honestly, every video I post on the Bellas versus the McMahons and the Authority seem to be on fire. I think people are really into this. I don't know if it is because it involves the McMahons with Triple H and Stephanie, or just maybe it's a hot angle that they keep putting in the main event, or maybe just everybody thinks that it's pretty much basically determined that Brock Lesnar is going to beat John Cena at SummerSlam, that they don't really want to talk about it. I'm not sure, but let me know what you guys think. Peace out. 12 minutes on the SummerSlam main event. We got right here, we got Brie Bella going up against Stephanie McMahon. Woo! Let's get it done.